Welcome in, you guys. This is for GED algebra, okay? We're going to be doing some of the algebra and geometry on the GED test. So if you know anybody that's been struggling to get their GED and the math is holding them up, share this live with them, please. Alrighty, so we have 5 minus x times 9 minus 9 plus x. All right. So we could do this multiple ways. We can do box method. We can do FOIL method. We can do distribute method. Okay. So I'm going to show you my favorite. And it's kind of like FOIL, a mixture of FOIL. So what you do is you go 5. So it's like distributing 5 times 9 and then 5 times x, okay? So 5, I'm going to write each step out for people that don't understand. So we're going to do 5 times 9 plus, and then 5 times x. Whenever you have a number and a variable, you just put them together, okay, you guys? And then, let me do this one. We're going to go negative x times 9. Remember, put them together. So it's negative 9x. And then negative x times x. Well, it's negative x. Whenever, how many x's do you have? You have 2 of them. So it's x squared. Okay. So now we're going to do 5 times 9 is 45. And then I'm going to drop down. Okay. Plus 5x minus 9x minus x squared. Can you guys tell me what the like terms are? What can I combine? Does anybody know in the chat? Thank you for the double hearts and the follows and the shares, you guys. Happy Sunday. So this can be done in 9th grade, junior, 5x and 9x. Perfect. Yes, this is algebra. So it's algebra 1, algebra 2. Do the same thing, okay? So we have here. And so we have 5x minus 9x. These are like terms. So we get 45 and we combine. You have $5 in your bank account. You're minusing 9. So you down $4. So negative 4x minus x squared. And this is your answer. Now, let's talk about if this was multiple choice. I have a question for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to write 2 options here. You guys tell me which one is correct. All right, so if I write it like, which one matches our answer that we got? Is it A or is it B? What do you guys say? Okay, I see A, B, B. Okay, question mark on the B, A. Ooh, we going back and forth, you guys. All right, so this is what I always help when I tutor my GED people. You have to look at the sign that's attached here. We have a negative x squared. So this is a positive x squared. So no way can A be our answer because we have to look at the sign we got on the x squared. So since it's a negative attached to the x squared, B is the only one that has a negative attached to the x squared. And they do this to you all the time, you guys. They try to trick you. You do all this beautiful work and then you go and pick the wrong one. So I want to make sure people are understanding these signs matter. Okay. They matter so much because else you get the wrong answer. Okay. So that's what I want to explain. So let's get it wrong here so that when you take this test, you go beast mode. Okay. And you accomplish your goal. So let's look at number 2. So I'm just going to distribute. Okay. Remember, distribute means multiply. So y squared times y squared. I'm going to write out each step. So we're doing y squared times y squared. Okay. Times. And then we're going to do y squared times 3. Remember, whenever you have a number and a variable, a letter, you just put them together. Okay. So it's 3y squared. And then we're going to go underneath. Negative 3 times y squared is negative 3y squared. And then negative 3 times a positive 3. Well, it's a negative 9. Don't put 6. Remember, we multiplying, okay? So 3 times 3 is 9. And then I have a question for you guys. What is y squared times y squared? Does anybody know? Thank you for the shares, the double taps, the follows. I really appreciate it. Good. It said y fourth. Your fave said y fourth. Excellent. Remember, you add these exponents. So 2 plus 2 is going to be y to the fourth, okay, because we're adding. Then we have plus 3y squared. I'm just writing it step by step, you guys, okay, for people that are trying to understand. So now we have to look at this and we have to say, what are our like terms? Does anybody know what the like terms are here? What do you guys say? The 3's cancel out. Excellent. Okay, somebody said, nope, they don't know. Well, the like terms are the same letters. Like they have to be the same. So like here, I'm looking at y squared. Okay, that's 1. Do I have another thing in here that has another y squared? Yes, I have this. So I have a y squared and a y squared. Okay, so now somebody said they cancel out. Perfect. I have $3. I minus 3. They're gone. So I drop down my y to the fourth minus 9. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Can I do this? Okay, I'm going to write something over here. I want yeses or no. Can I do this? Thank you, Isa. Thank you, Khalees, for the gifts. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm getting yes. I'm getting no. I'm getting no, no, no. Ooh, we getting yes and no's. All right, this is what my algebra babies do all the time. And I want you to get it. It's no, this is not correct. Now let's explain why this is not correct. In here, we had no equal signs. All throughout here, they didn't start with the equal. So if they do not start the problem with the equal, we cannot throw an equal in there. Okay? So actually, this is our answer. Okay? Unless they said simplify and then there's a difference of squares, factor it. That's different though. Okay? So they just said multiply. So this is our answer. So do not put it equals if they did not begin with the equal sign, okay? They try to throw you off like that all the time. Oh, thank you, Isa. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right. Okay. I'm going to let you guys try number 3. Thank you, Kual, for the rose. Thank you so much, Amari. So is it A, B, C, or D? Thank you, Damien and Monica, for the roses. What do you guys say? C? Okay, I got C up D. Ooh, C or D. B. Hey, Jade. Thank you. Okay, somebody said they don't know. Okay, I love the honesty. All right, so let's actually try this out. So whenever we're adding polynomials, these are called polynomials, you guys. And all that means is you have some letters mixed with some numbers, okay? Polynomials, okay? So since we're adding, we're going to add like terms. So I have a 3z squared right here. Do I have any other z squared? Yep, right here. Okay, so I'm going to combine this first. So 3 minus 5. Okay, remember you got $3 in the bank. You spent $5. You got negative 2z squared. Okay, now this is gone. Now, if I'm on a test, I'm looking at what matches my negative 2z. Automatically, I know B is out and D is out. You just gave yourself a 50-50 chance on your exam. Okay? So now we have to do, let's go one more. Okay, these are different right here. All right, so now I'm going to say, what's the like terms? What's some more like terms? We have this. We got this negative 12z. And this plus z, okay? So, what's the number? Do you guys know what's the number that's attached to this z? Ooh, people are saying it's A. It's A. Okay. What do you guys say? What is the number attached to this Z? -12. Okay. Oh, 1. Perfect. It's always an imaginary 1. So sometimes this helps. Thank you, Karens. Sometimes this helps if you put a 1 here. So you're down -$12 in your bank account. You just put $1 in there. We're still down $11. And then you just add the Z. So I'm going to look here at my 2 options. Which one has -11Z? A. This is my answer. I'm going to go to the next. Because this is a time test, right? You don't have time to be filling it all out. So that's how you use your time wisely on a multiple choice test, okay? All right, but we ain't timed, right? So let's finish it out. So we have +7 and a +6. These are our like terms. So 7 + 6 is +13. So if we started with the 7 and the 6, this wouldn't help us because they all had +13s, right? So that would be no help. So the really thing that helped us was the yellows, and then the purples solidified which one our answer was. Okay. Good, you guys. Okay, so let's keep it pushing. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Here we have it. Let's go to the next. Okay. So number 1, I'm going to give you guys some time. What do you guys say number 1 is? Is it A, B, C, or D? Thank you for the double taps and the follows and the shares. I really appreciate it. We're at 19K. Can we try to get to 25K likes? Thank you, you guys. Ooh, somebody said D and C. Okay, D and C. C, C. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of C's. It's C. Okay, let's see it. Now, let's talk about what's the first step when you're subtracting polynomials. Remember, polynomials just means you have some letters and some numbers, okay, that are attached to each other. Polynomials. So, does anybody know the first -1? Okay, I saw it. So this is a -1. Okay, we're going to cover this up. Whenever you see this minus sign attached, it's a -1. Well, remember, parentheses mean multiply. So we're multiplying by a -1 to both of these 2 terms. So a negative times a negative gets us a positive 4B. And then a -1 times a +1 gets us a -1. Okay, that's the very first step. When you're subtracting polynomials, you have to change the signs of the parentheses that follows the negative. Now we check here. This has no negative in front of it. So we just drop everything down. So I'm going to drop down this -10b squared plus 6b plus 2. And now I have a plus 4b. Okay, so I see that's some like terms. What else do I have? I have a plus 2 and a -1. All right, now this b squared is by itself. So this doesn't really help me because all of these are -10b. So I'm just gonna drop this down, -10b squared. Now I'm gonna add my yellows. Okay, what does my yellows give me? Ooh, I saw somebody put it in the chat. So what's 6 plus 4b? Ooh, people are saying it's D. 10b, yes. So 6 plus 4 gets me 10. And then you just add the b with it. So there's 10 b's. So now I'm going to look at my options. Which one has 10b? Okay, so I know here I can eliminate A and I can eliminate C. Those are out. I just gave myself a 50-50 chance, you guys. Thank you, Gas, for the rose. Yes, B or D. Exactly. Now we have to go to our greens. Well, 2 minus 1, because don't forget that sign. So we have a positive 2 minus 1 gives us a plus 1. So D is our answer. Yep, D is the answer. Remember, this sign matters, okay? So good, you guys. Good. All right, what about number 2? Let's go to number 2. Thank you, Catherine, for the roses. Thank you for all the shares and the double taps and the follows. I really appreciate it, you guys. Ooh, we getting B. We got some D's. Ooh, we on the B and D today, huh? All right. Okay. So let's multiply this. Okay. So we're doing X times X. Okay. We're going to distribute. So X times X is X squared. Okay. Then we're going to do X times a Y. What's X times Y, you guys? Can you guys put it in the chat? How do we do X times Y times a negative Y? Good. Yes, Tyler. Yes, ZQ. Excellent. You just put them together. Don't just always, whenever you have something that doesn't make sense in our mind logically, just say, I'm just going to put them together. Because that's all you can do. You could just write them next to each other, but don't forget that sign. So it's minus XY. And you know why we write X before Y? It's because of the alphabet, you guys. Some of my students always put Y before X, but it's just, we always put X before Y because of the alphabet, okay? So now we have this. So right now, just based off of this, I know A is out, okay? I know A is gone. Now I have like 3 options left. So now I'm going to go, don't forget this, you have to go underneath. So Y times X, a positive, gives us a plus XY, okay, because it's a positive. And then Y times X, you just put them together, XY, okay? And then we're going to go Y times a negative Y, which Y times Y, how many do you have? You have 2 of them. All right. Some people are saying easy. Okay, good. I'm glad you're feeling like it's easy. Now, good. Some people said it's a difference of squares. Thank you, Yorkies, for the roses. Okay, it's B. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay. Remember, every variable has an imaginary 1 in front of it. So really what you're looking at is, forget the X and the Y, you're looking at -1 plus 1. They cancel each other. So you're left with X squared, don't forget this sign on the Y, minus Y squared. And you guys were right on it. Whoever said B, perfect. It's B. Yeah, it's not D because there's not 2 negatives right here. So if this was a negative as well, then it would have been D. But since this is a positive and a negative, they cancel. Okay. Good. Okay, let's go to number 3. Can you guys see it okay? Let's do number 3. So it says, which of the following is equivalent to the expression this? Oh, thank you. Somebody said I make it so easy. Period and period. I'm so sick of that. I teach high school, so you know I'm sick of it. Thank you, pretty. Thank you for the dinosaur. Oh, I'm glad you love algebra. That means you had some great math teachers. Because people that hate math, I'm telling you, they just didn't get to experience somebody that unlocked their brain. Ooh, so we're saying AC. Thank you for your I. Okay, let's check it out. So I have a 5x. I'm looking, do I have just another thing with an X? I have a negative 2x here. Okay. Now I have this X squared that's by itself. And I have this negative 10 that's by itself. So we're going to start with the X squared. Okay. And then I'm going to drop down this. I'm going to combine these. So what's 5x minus 2x? Gives us 3x. And then I have to drop down this negative 10. All right, now we're about to get into factoring, okay? And how I teach factoring is I do the T, the T thing. Okay, I don't know what it's actually called, but I call it the T thing, okay? So your C always goes above here. What's the C? It's the number that doesn't have a variable attached to it, doesn't have a letter. So I will put 10 up here. And I don't worry about the sign yet. I just put 10. And then I say, well, what times what gives me 10? 1 times 10, 2 times 5. Okay, I think that's all that gives me 10. And then here I say, well, which one of these pairs, so either 1 and 10 or 2 and 5 can give me this 3, which is the B, okay? So which pair, you guys? Is it 1 and 10 or 2 and 5 that can get us 3? If you combine them some type of way, which is the only one? 2 and 5. Yes, 2 and 5. See, if I combine 1 and 10, if I add these, that's going to give me 11. And if I subtract them, 1 minus 10, that's going to give me a -9. That's far away from 3. So I know this is out. So this has to be my pair. Now, the problem is I need a +3, but I have a negative in here. So, some people are putting it in. 2. So some people said 2 -5. Well, let's see it, okay? So if I make this 2 -5, remember, I'm just combining them. So what's 2 minus 5? You have $2. You spent 5. You're -3. We're so close. At least we're getting the 3. But remember, I want a +3. So which one actually has to be negative? Well, you just flip it. So I make this negative and this one has to be positive. So if I do 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2 gets me a +3. And so this is actually my pair. So now how I do this, you're going to write 2 parentheses next to each other. And you always start your parentheses with x. Why? Because you want to get this x squared. So x times x gets us x squared. Okay, so you always do 2 parentheses and you put the x's first. Then you have the math here and you just do -2. And this is a +5. And these are our factors. So which one matches ours? Is it A, B, C, or D? What do you guys say? Good. I'm glad I'm helping some people. Some people said they felt this on their test. Well, good. I'm hoping it's making sense. A. Yes, A is it. Now, let's talk about why A works. Okay. Why A is our answer. Because you could have said A or B, right? But remember, it doesn't matter like which way you flip it, but it does matter like the -2. So you have to look at this. See, this is a +2. That's why this B does not work. And so you have to have x -2. And the only one that has x -2 and an x plus 5 is A. When they say 5 plus x, this is the same thing as saying x plus 5. I know it's so trickery, right? Why would they set us up like this? But again, remember, they make thousands upon thousands of money of people failing this exam. Never forget that. So if you have failed it 3, 4, however many times, remember, this is a money system, right? So they're not going to make it easy. They want your money over and over again. So don't feel like you are inadequate or you're dumb or no. This is trickery. And you have to just understand the trickery of the test. Okay? So just always remember that. It's money. It's about money, you guys. Is there any word applications? Let me see. Do I have any word applications? We got a couple of translations, but no, not today. Until we get into geometry, then we're going to start doing slope and coordinate geometry and all that, okay? All right, so number 1. Let's do number 1. Okay, so this says solve for y. Ooh. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, thank you, Lenny. Thank you for the paper crane. Thank you for the follows, you guys. And thank you for the double taps. I appreciate it. We're at 64.6 likes. We got 2.5K people watching. Y'all, thank you. Thank you for chilling with me on this Sunday. So let's solve for y. All right, so what do I move first in this equation if I want to get y by itself? What do you guys say? Ooh, Joshua, I think, gave us the answer, 12.5. Add 5. Good. Lynn said add 5. Okay. Somebody said minus 5. You got to be careful here. What's opposite of minus? Well, opposite of minus is plus. So we add 4 to both sides first. So then we're going to get 2y equals, 21 plus 4 gives us 25. Ooh, okay. I think Josh was right on that. Okay. Now, how do I get y by itself? Thank you, Sunda. What do you guys? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Perfect. Yes. We're going to divide by 2. Now, some people might be saying, why are we dividing? Whenever you have a number attached to a letter, they're multiplied. So you're asking yourself, how do I undo multiplication? Why divide? So this cancels out and I'm left with y equals. Now, let me explain. So some parents that are on this, that might be watching this, how I learned how to divide by halves, right, without a calculator, is you take off 1 from an odd number. So you're going to make this 24 plus 1, okay? Now, I'm taking half of 24, which is much easier than taking half of an odd number. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4, 2, okay? Now, a half. I always tell my younger babies that no money. When you start getting into quarters and half, think about $1. So if you're saying a half, well, how much is that in $1? That's 0.50 cents. So your answer is going to be 12.5. All right. So always take off 1 from every whole number. You could do this for anything. So if we have 30, let's do a better, easier. So let's see if we had 15. Let's take half of 15 real quick. So if we're taking half of 15, right? I'm going to do this as 14 plus 1. Take half of 14. What's half of 14? 7. And then a half is always 50 cents. So you add the 0.5. All right. So I hope that's making sense to my parents. If you can start, especially those who are like doing division, just these basic take off 1 and start practicing this with them. When they get higher in math, it will start clicking even better and better for them. Okay. Cause I know I did a terrible job at explaining math for a long time, because I was trying to do like the process instead of making it relate to real life. And I'm still on that journey, you guys. Like, how does this apply in real life? I get that question all the time. All right. So let's go to number 2. So if 3/4 x equals 72, then x equals, all right, what you guys think? I think I saw some people put it, it's 90. Is it 96? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. 216. Okay. All right. So I always ask my students, what does this symbol mean? This little fraction bar. What does that mean? Ooh, somebody said it. What does it mean? So what does this fraction bar mean? Times. It means divide. Thank you. This means divide. So how we undo division is, I'm going to show this 2 ways, okay? Because I know some people are like, well, this is the long way. But we're going to do it the long way first. So I'm going to multiply both sides by what's in my bottom because I want to undo this division. So I'm going to multiply by 4 to both sides, okay? These 4's cancel. And then I'm left with 3x equals, well, 72 times 4. Let's go over here. Okay. So 4 times 2 is 8. And then 4 times 7 is 28. So we get 288. Okay. Now our last step, remember, is always divide, okay? What's with the X? That's what you divide by. Always the number that's with the X. So now we're going to get, oh, I got my calculator, okay? We ain't going to be doing too much. So, and you do get to, oh, my calculator. Is it not coming on? Oh, might have to do it by hand. So, I don't know why it's doing that. There it goes. Okay. It's coming on. Does anybody know our answer? What's 288 divided by 288 divided by not that. 288 divided by 3. Good. So some people said 96. You were right on it. Perfect. X equals 96. Now, somebody said, oh my, the calculator. I know this is what we use because like if we're doing graphing, it's like all just shortcuts. And then you want to use this. You want to get comfortable with this because when you have your ACT, especially my juniors, you have 60 problems in 60 minutes to do them. So you don't have time to be doing this, right? If it's 1 minute a problem. Thank you, Jen, babe. All right. So let's do this another way. Okay. I love showing that there's multiple ways. There's not just one way. So if you have 3/4 X equals 72. Does anybody know another way we can do this? Thank you, who's? 72 divided by 4. Yeah, okay. Times 3. All right, so let me show you guys this way. Has anybody heard of the reciprocal? Reciprocal, the flip. It just means flip. Yes, the flip. So we could multiply this by the flip of this fraction, which becomes 4/3. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. So here, these cancel out, okay? They cancel out because it's 12/12 just cancels out. So we're left with 72 times 4/3. Well, let me show you how to put this into the calculator, okay? How I would put it in is, thank you so much for the gift. I would do 72 parenthesis and then 4. Remember, what does this mean? Divided by 3. And then you're going to get 96. And that is our answer. Okay. So my students always sometimes get confused on, well, how do I put this in? Remember, this is division. And then you have your parenthesis here and just do 4 divided by 3. Okay. All right. Good. So multiple ways, you guys. We could even did it another way. Okay. But we're going to keep it pushing. So number 3, let's solve for X. All right, y'all. What's the first thing we move to this side? What do I want to move to this side? Somebody said they got 54. The X. Yes. I personally like my X's on the left side. Okay. You do not have to. There's multiple ways, like I said, but I'm going to move this over. Now, how do I move this 13X over here? How do I get it on that side? Good. Make it a negative. Yes, we subtract because see how there's no sign here? So if there's no sign here, remember that's a positive. So how do you undo a positive? Well, you minus 13X to both sides. Okay. So now this is going to cancel. And then we have 7 minus 13. Okay. Well, I don't know that, but I know 7 plus what gets me 13. Well, I know this bigger number's a negative, so I'm going to keep it a negative. And then I think it's going to be, is it 6? Yep. 6x, because 6 plus 7 gets me 13. So then I just make it a negative because my 13 is bigger than my 7, and it has a negative attached, okay? So then we drop down our 20. And we drop down our -4. Now, thank you, Robin. Now, what do I do next? Some people say got to get X. -20. Yes, you minus the 20. I can't do anything with this X, with this -6X first before I get rid of this. because these are like terms. So I need to get the numbers over to this side. So now I'm going to drop down this negative 6x equals, and then somebody tell me this in the chat. What's negative 4 minus 20? What do we get? What do you guys say? Negative 4 minus 20. Good. Okay. Is it negative 24? Negative 24. Yes, you guys. Remember, this is a negative 24. Don't confuse this with multiplying. So a negative times a negative is a positive, but we're not multiplying here. We're subtracting. So we're starting at negative 4 and we're going down the number line more negative. So it can only get a bigger negative. Okay. And then our last step. What's our last step, y'all? Yes, good. I saw somebody say it. We divide. Don't be doing no crazy plus 6. No, no, no. They try to trick you. You got to remember, when a number is attached to a variable, they're multiplied. So the undo multiplication, we're going to divide. And we divide by what is with the x. It's a negative 6. So that's why we're dividing by a negative 6, okay? And then we get x equals, I think that's 4. And that is our answer. Okay. Yep. Good, you guys. Good. All right. These ones, number 4 becomes a little bit challenging, right? Because it's like, I have no numbers and I have a whole bunch of letters. And it's like, what is this, right? Exactly. Somebody said, do I need this in life? Exactly. Right? It's like, what is this? What is this? So it says solve for x in terms of y, w, and v. Okay. So we solving for x. So we don't care about nothing else except getting x by itself. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite this. xy plus w equals v. Does anybody know what we have to move first? Negative w to both sides. Perfect. Ooh, I saw somebody put it in there. Love it. Some people are putting the answer in the chat. Okay, let's see if they got it right. So we're going to do the opposite of this. So we're going to minus w minus w. Now, remember, these are not like terms, right? So I'm going to drop this down, xy equals. And since these are not like terms, you guys, we just write them right next to each other. So we're going to put v minus w, just like that. We can't do nothing. We just have to write them right next to each other. Now, I'm solving for x. What do I do next? How do I get x by itself? Ooh, y'all is on it today. Perfect. Some people are saying divide. Yes, we're dividing because remember, this is multiplied together. What undoes multiplication? Well, we divide both sides. Now, how do I know what I divide by? It's because I want x by itself. So whatever is with the x, that's what I have to get rid of. So that's why I'm putting y down here and y over here. These y's cancel and I get x equals v minus w over y. And it looks crazy. And yes, that's your beautiful, crazy answer. Yeah, I know. It's the letters. It like throws everybody off, right? Because it's like, it doesn't make sense. And there's no, and I can't, well, I don't have enough knowledge to connect it to the world that we live in. So, it is what it is. Maybe some other teachers that are on here can connect this to like real life, but I haven't found nothing. Okay. I'm just to be honest, but this might be on your GED, right? So if you want to get your GED, that's what you need it for. You just need it to pass your GED and get do what you want to do with your goals. All right. Number 1. Yep. Some people say critical thinking. Yep. Some people say that, but then it goes to, for some people, like, well, I can get critical thinking in other subjects. Why do I need that? Right? So that's why I don't even like to start that conversation. I'm on a search to know where does this relate to common world? Like, how does it relate? Like exponentials, right? Oh, exponentials. I wish somebody would have connected the stock market, the stocks, to exponentials for me. I would be so far advanced if somebody explained how my money could triple, quadruple in one good night, right? So it just all depends. Thank you, Export Night. And crypto, y'all, even though it's down right now, but this is the time to get in, okay? Everybody's saying it ain't gonna happen, but it's gonna pop one of these days, and this is the time you get in. So let's do number 1. It says, find the value of W that makes the following equation true. All right. I'm going to, what do you guys want to do? We can distribute this, or we could do our flip thing. We could do our flip where we multiply by the flip. What do you guys say you guys want to do? Are we going to distribute, or you want to do the flip thing? What do you guys say? Distribute? Oh, flip. Okay, I got to flip. Oh, I got more flips than distribute. So I'm going to do the flip thing. Plus, I want to do the flip thing anyway. Only because if I distribute this here, it's ugly. So that's why I want to do the flip thing. Okay, you guys? So I'm going to flip this. So the flip of this gets me 3 over 2. I'm going to drop all this down times 2 over 3. I'm going to keep this W minus 4 and then equals 26. And then remember, if I do one thing to this side, I must do it to this side. So I'm going to do the flip over here. Now, these flips, remember, these cancel. That's the whole reason why we did the flip, was to get rid of this. Now we have left is W minus 4 equals. Well, let's look at this. How this really is, you guys, is really what you're saying is 26. I'm going to take half of that. So what's half of 26? Well, 2 goes into 2 one time, and then 2 goes into 6 3 times. So the half of 26 is 13. Now I'm multiplying 13 times 3. Let's go over here. Okay. And then I'm going to do 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 1 is 39. So this gets me 39 over here. Okay, good. Yes, you guys are putting it in there. Perfect. Yes. And now if I want to get W by itself, what do, you guys? How do I get W by itself? Okay, some people were saying now divide, add 4. Yes, this is where the trickery comes. Usually our last step is to divide, but how are they connected? They're subtracting. So I have to look here and say, what's the opposite of subtracting? Add. And so that's why I have to add 4 to both sides, okay? And not divide, because these are not touching. You have that minus sign between them. So we get 39 plus 4. You guys said it in the chat, 43. And that is our beautiful answer. Good. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for the double taps, the follows, the shares. Thank you for all the comments. You guys are amazing. Thank you. All right, now let's look at number 2. I used to hate these type of problems. I still kind of do a little bit, but they are like, for the longest time, you guys, they used to trick me all the time. So let's look at number 2. Twice the sum of a number and 10 is 42. Find the number. Oh, thank you so much for the doggy. Thank you for the gifts. Oh, somebody said they can't see. Can you see it now? Can everybody see it now? Okay, so can somebody, thank you, Sandu. Yep, Sandu said, let's go. All right, it's good. You guys can see it. All right, so it says twice the sum of a number and 10. Does anybody know how can we write that? Oh, somebody said, do I do statistics? You know, that's my only subject. That's my kryptonite. It's really sick, is that statistics. I took it to get my bachelor's, but it wasn't hard enough for me to remember anything. So that's why I don't know how to do it to this day. 2x plus 10, I mean college statistics, but the high school statistics, yes, but not college statistics. Okay, so you guys are saying, let me see, 2x plus 10, Fort, yes, 2n plus 10. I love it how people are using different letters. Beautiful. So twice the sum. Okay, let's break this down. So twice the sum. Ooh, this is where you got to be careful. Twice the sum. When they put this like this, it's twice the sum. You got to put a parenthesis, okay? Because it's like twice the sum. Well, the sum goes in place of the word and. When they say a number, I don't know what that is. So when you don't know something, what you put? Yeah, somebody got it in the chat. You could put any letter. We'll put in. Okay. So twice the sum means plus. The plus goes in place of the and. So a number plus 10 means equal 42. And this is the trickery right here. Twice the sum. When they put like these together, you got to know you're doing parentheses because you have to distribute this to the n plus 10. So if you write it just 2n plus 10, you're not doing the twice of 10. So that's why this is not correct. I know this used to trip me up all the time. I'm like, what? It said twice n, but if it would have said twice n, it would have said twice a number n plus or and the sum. You know, it would have to mix it up. So, yep. So now let's distribute, okay? So 2 times n is 2n, and then 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, now we have this 42 over here. All right, what do I do next? Yep, good. 2n plus 20. Good, you guys. Yep, it's the key words in that. Yes. Good, I'm glad you're going to learn it next year. Subtract 20. Perfect. So we're looking at the positive here, and we're going to minus 20 to both sides. Good. So we have 2n equals 42 minus 20 is 22. And then our last step, what do we always do, you guys? Divide by 2. Yes, divide. Kevin, yes, you guys, divide. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And n equals 11. And that is our answer. Good, good, good. Yes. All right, I'm going to let you guys look at number 3. And you guys tell me, this is A, B, C, or D. So I don't want to go off, but can you guys see it? So this is A, B, C, or D. What you guys say? Yep, somebody said always check your work. Yes. I always go back and forth with checking work. And the why that is because, all these tests, like the ACT, they give you 60 problems and 60 minutes to do it. So that's a minute a problem. I don't have time to go back and check my work. So if the foundation, if you're learning it, it's good. But in reality, when you have the GED, they give you 40 something questions in 54 minutes. If it wasn't standardized tests, then I would say yes. If it was just the beauty of learning and understanding math and we weren't testing people, then I would say, yeah, get rid of it. But I don't know. Yes, I am a teacher and I don't have my students check their work. I know that's sick, huh? But my freshmen, I do. But the higher students, 10th grade, junior, they need to get ready for testing. And I just don't believe that you have time. Oh, you guys were saying A. All right, I saw a lot of A's. I said B's. I saw a couple of C's. All right, let's do it. So what is the value of 4x squared plus 3, parenthesis 1 minus x, when x equals negative 3. This is key right here. Okay, let me scoot it over a little bit. Whenever you see an x equals a number, I want you to start thinking in your head, plug in, okay? Whenever you see a letter equal to a number, they're telling you this x is negative 3. They want you to know that this x, we're going to replace this with negative 3. So I'm going to drop down my 4. Remember, how are these connected? Through multiplying. So I'm going to put negative 3 in place of the x, okay? Plus, drop down the 3, drop down the 1 minus. Oh, I see another x. Well, I know what x is. It's negative 3. So I put a negative 3 in there. Okay, now this is what usually people mess up on because they see a minus and then they forget to do the double negatives. Thank you for the roses. Okay, so now this is order of operations, y'all. What do we do first? What do we do first when we're simplifying this? This could be an algebra 2, algebra 1, both. 30AA, add 3. Okay, good. So some people are seeing this as add 3. We're going to start with the parentheses first. Perfect. So we're going to do 3, then 1 plus 3. Double negatives equals a positive. So 1 plus 3 is 3 times 4. Okay, I'm going to drop down everything else. And then we have this negative 3 to the second power. What do I do next? Yeah, I'm about to get in some geometry next. Yes. What? Exponents. Yes. Exponents. That's what we do next. Remember, an exponent tells you how many times to multiply this number to itself. So what do I mean? So what this means is it's negative 3 times a negative 3. So I have this telling me I have 2 negative 3s. So a negative times a negative is a positive. And then 3 times 3 gives me 9. Well, I have 4 times 9 plus 3 times 4. So now we do, good, you guys said it, 9, yes. So 4 times 9 is 36. 18 plus 18, yep, 30, is that? 18 plus 18, yep, 36. And then 3 times 4 is 12. You guys, sometimes my brain just be like, what is that? It'd be going off, okay? And then 36 plus 12, perfect. You guys said it, 48. And A is our answer. Yes, good. Oh, somebody said, do I do the methods of 9? You know, I never really, I understand it like the 0, 9, as what is it? See, I still don't really get it fully, but I know you can write them all out like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 9, 8, like on that side and get it. But, unfortunately, I think I'm just like so old. I never memorized it that way. So I had to do it like old school flashcards you to death until you memorize your multiplications. Use your fingers. Yep, I use my fingers. I use like the little dot method sometimes. But yeah, I can never get the new strategy. All right, so some people said let's jump into geometry. Let's do it, okay? So let's do some graphing. Let's do some graphing with the GED because you guys will have this on your GED, okay? So what time we looking at? All right, I'm gonna do a couple of more, and then I do have my babies here, and I'm gonna need to go check on them because you guys know, parents, when it get a little bit too quiet, it's like, what y'all doing, right? The silence, you know something going on. All right, so number 1, good. Some people said y equals mx plus b. I love it. I love it. I love it. So find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this that passes through the point -2, 8. All right. This is what my geometry babies, we are just learning this right now. This is always on your ACT. Okay. So any juniors that are in here that are taking, or seniors that are taking the ACT, you're going to have one of these, either parallel or perpendicular. So what you have to know from here is the slope. Okay. That's the thing that we have to take from this. And if we want the perpendicular slope, I'm going to take this step by step, okay? In order for you to get the perpendicular slope, an upside down T, whenever you see this, means perpendicular, okay? Especially in geometry, okay? So you're going to see this a lot in geometry. Upside down T means perpendicular. Well, there's two conditions for perpendicular. If this is positive, this has to be negative. Okay, that's one. So positive, the other one has to be negative. Then, if this is 1/4, to get this one, you have to flip it. So this becomes 4/1. Okay, so one condition is if this is positive, you make it a negative. The second condition is you flip it. Okay, so this is our perpendicular slope. Well, I don't like writing it like this, right? Because -4 divided by 1 is just -4. That's what I like to write. So now I have to use y equals mx plus b. This is the equation that you use in slope-intercept form, okay? Now, they gave me this point for a reason. They gave me this point because this is the X and this is the Y. I have to find my B. And how I'm going to find my B is by plugging in my X and Y and my new M. Okay. So my Y, what did we say Y was? They said it was 8. So I put an 8 in place of Y equals my new M, my perpendicular M, we said was -4. Now I'm going to do parentheses because whenever I have two letters touching, they're multiplied together. What is my X? I put in a -2 for my X. Plus B. Okay. Oh, thank you, that girl. I know some people are like, what? I know. So if you have not taken Algebra 1, and if you're not in geometry, you should be totally kind of lost right now, okay? I'm just going to let that, because this is like the hardest thing in geometry and algebra for some people, okay? So let's break it down one more time. I'm writing a perpendicular equation. How do I get perpendicular? I look at this slope. I go, if this is a positive, I make it a negative. Then I do the flip of this. So the flip of this is 4/1. Well, -4 divided by 1 is -4. I want an equation to go through this point. Remember, a point is always an X and a Y. Okay, that's a point. So now I'm going to use my y equals mx plus b with my new slope and my point. So I replace y with 8. I put my new m in, which is -4, which is called the slope. And I put my new x in, which they said was -2. And now we're going to solve for b. How do I solve for b, you guys? Yep, you got to plug in the y. Yes. Yep, how do we solve for b? What can I do? Parentheses, yes. Some people said parentheses, yes. So we're going to multiply this. Well, -4 times a -2 gets us a +8. So now I'm going to drop down that plus b, and I'm going to drop down this 8. Well, how do I get 8 to the other side? Remember, this is a +8. So I'm going to minus 8 to both sides. So now I have b equals 8 minus 8 is 0. So my y-intercept is 0, and my new slope is -4. So now I can write my equation. Y equals, put your m in there, -4x plus 0. So plus 0, you just don't write it. And that's the equation that's perpendicular to this one. Okay. So that's how you do that one. Okay. I know I have my students practicing this. Like we're going to practice this every day because it's going to be on their final and it's going to be on their ACT and it's going to be on their tests next week. So we're practicing all the different steps. Okay. So let's go to number 2. Okay. There's multiple ways how we can graph this line. We can do it by intercepts. So X and Y intercepts. Or we can do it by Y equals MX plus B, putting this into Y equals MX plus B. Or we could do table. You guys tell me what you guys want to do in the chat. Is it by intercepts? Y to Y equal MX plus B more? Okay, so I said all 3. I love it. Yeah, let's do all 3. Let's do all 3 for this one, okay? So that people can see it, okay? And whatever works for you, that's the way you do it, okay? I'm going to show you 3 ways, though. So let's do x-intercepts first, because that's the one I wrote first. So I'm going to write intercepts right here, okay? That's what we're going to do, intercepts. So how we do by intercepts is, 1, I would make x equals 0. Okay, so in this equation, I'm going to plug in 0 for the x. So I'm going to put 8 parentheses 0 plus 10y equals 40. Well, 8 times 0 goes away, right? It just goes to 0. So I could just cancel that out. And then how do I get y by itself? Remember, they're attached through multiplication. So you divide both sides by 10. And then y would equal 40 divided by 10 gives us a 4. I just found my y. So now I'm going to plot that on my y. Remember, this is your y. So I'm going to put a dot at 4 on my y. Now, that's only one side. Now I need to make the y 0. Okay. So if I make y 0, I'm going to write 8x plus 10. Remember, I'm putting 0 in for that y. So I'm going to put 0 times 0 equals 40. Okay. So let me scoot over a little bit in case you guys can't see. So anything times 0 just goes away. So you just move it. Okay. And then, so now you're left with 8x equals 40. Well, how do we get x by itself? Divide by 8. And x equals, 40 divided by 8 is 5. So I put a point, I look at my x-axis, because remember, this is my x. And then I put a point at 5 on my x. And then you're going to draw a line that's straight. And that's how you could graph it. That's one way, okay? That's one way. Now, let's do the y equals mx plus b way, okay? So here we have, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. So they gave me 8x plus 10y equals 40. Okay. I want to solve this for y. So since I want to get y by itself, the first step, does anybody know the first step? What do I have to move if I want to keep 10y on this side? What do I have to move? Isolate the variables. Yep. Subtract 8x. Yes. I'm going to subtract 8x to both sides. So I'm going to move 8x because it was a positive. I have to move it by subtracting. So I'm going to minus 8x to this side. Now I'm going to drop down this 10y. I'm going to drop down my equals. And again, remember, these are not like terms. So when they're not like terms, you just write them right next to each other. So you put negative 8x plus 40. Now, what's our last step, you guys? Always, whenever you have a number attached, that's multiplied. So how we get it by itself, we divide. Divide here, divide here. And we get y equals, this can be reduced by 2. So I can divide this by 2 and divide this by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is -4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we have x. And then 40 divided by 10, we know from here that that's 4. Now, right? We didn't even get to graph it yet. This is just changing this into y equals mx plus b. But once you have this, it's so sweet. Let me tell you why. Because you have an m that's -4 over 5, which is our rise over our run. And you have a b, which is called your y-intercept, which means I'm going to start at 4, okay, on my y. So let's go back here. I'm starting at 4 on my y. What does my slope tell me? It says drop 4. I'm dropping 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm running. This tells me I'm running a +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Right on. We know that's correct. Can I explain it again? Yes, I can. Let me run through it one more time. Let's run through it one more time. So we took this equation, 8x plus 10y equals 40, okay? We have to solve this equation for y. That's step 1. So step 1, solve for y. Well, how we solve this for y is we have to move the x to the other side. How we do that is we do opposite of positive by minusing 8x to both sides. So this goes away and we write minus 8x over here. We're going to drop down our 10y, drop down our equal. These are not alike. Since they are not alike, we just write them right next to each other. Okay. Our last step is to divide by 10 by everything. Okay. So these 10s cancel. We're left with y. Now we had -8 over 10. We want to simplify this. So when we go to graphing, we're not dropping down 8. Okay, we're not dropping down 8 and then running 10. No, we want to simplify. So we divided both of these by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is -4. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then 40 divided by 10 is 4. Now we just got our form y equals mx plus b. And what's sweet about this is once you're able to know the y, which the b stands for the y-intercept. So you start at 4 on the y, which is right here. And then remember, this is rise over run. Okay. So this rise, unfortunately, we have a negative attached to it. And since we have a negative on our rise, that doesn't mean we rise. That means we fall. So we're going to drop down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We drop down the 4 and then we run to the +5. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put a point. And that is our line. Okay. So we did it by x-intercepts. We did it by slope-intercept form. And now we about to use a table. Okay. So let's do a table way. Now, the good thing is, and this is why I say this is the beautiful thing. Yes, this is why this thing is beautiful. And you get to use a calculator on your ACT if that's what you're taking this year, okay? So how you would do this, even I believe they have a calculator that you get to use on the GED as well, okay? I'm not sure what level it is. Somebody would have to confirm this for me. Do they allow you to use the y equals when you're doing the GED? Can somebody tell me? Because I don't know that. But let's make a table. So if you have a table, you have an X and a Y. Okay. I'm going to show you with the calculator. And then I'm going to show you like if you didn't have a calculator. Okay. So if we have a calculator, you can go to y equals. So now that we solved this for the y equals, we can plug this equation in. So we could do, it's a -4. Remember, this is divided by 5. Here goes my x plus 4. I'm going to hit second and graph. And look at that beautiful table right there. Look at it, okay? It is so beautiful. So we would have 0, 4. Okay, so 0, 4. And does everybody see how you get all these decimals? No way do I want to plot these decimals. I want to get it exact. So does everybody see how I moved up and I wrote -5, 8? Okay, so I put -5, 8. I'm going to go down. Okay, and then does everybody see how it says 5, 0? That's my next one. So I put 5, 0. And I will plot these. So 0, 4, 0, up 4, which is right here. And then 5 zeros right here. And we can even get to -5 and up 8, which is right here, which we were right on track with our graph. Now, that's why I say this is a beautiful thing, right? But which is way easier than both of these. Yes, it is. But some people don't get to use calculators, which is really sad, right? Really, really sad. So, yep, let's go. We need a let's go. Yes, we need a let's go, right? So here we have, thank you so much for the gift. So here we have, so how we would do this if we didn't get to use a calculator, okay? How I would do this is you get to choose whatever numbers you want, okay? And then you would plug in, so just like we did here when we did x equals 0, it's the same thing. You will plug in some x's. Ooh, I'm tired, y'all. You guys can see I'm dying out, okay? In my explanation. So you would plug in some x's. So we would make a table. Let's say we made a table over here. And you could choose whatever you want to plug in. So if I'm plugging in, I'm always going to choose 0 for my x. So I'll plug in 0. And then, so before it dies on you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try to jump back on later on today during my kids' nap. But I'm jumping on for a different thing. I'm going to be jumping on for either the T's or Hesse. That's what I want to do later, okay? So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Trouble, for the roses. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. What time? I'm Central Time, so it'll probably be like around 3:30, around there. Okay, 3:30, 4 o'clock, so I'm hoping. All right, have a wonderful, blessed day if I don't catch you, and talk to you later. Bye, you guys.